Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar Dee Eight. How's everyone doing today? Jessica dealt out many punches so far. The wall wasn't invincible. It had already started to crack, and it wouldn't be strange for it to smash at any moment. However, due to the rebounding damage, Jessica also had cuts all over her body and was all worn out. Please put a stop to this. I don't intend to crush you. It is up to the master to decide how to deal with you. However, I also intend to congratulate you, especially for your good fight. Quit fucking around. Not yet. It isn't over yet. You have wounds all over your body. It's all you can manage just to stand. Is it not? It seems you plan on putting all your strength into this final strike. However, that final strike will be fatal for you. The damage reflected by Renove's magic circle wall was proportional to the strength of the attack. Jessica's all-out punch would be bounced back onto her. The more all-out she went, the more suicidal it would be for Jessica. I get it, I know that. I am warning you. Stop this now. This is for your own good. Stop bluffing. Your wall is already about to break, right? I can tell by the feel of it after punching it so much, okay? That was a fact. Renove's wall was already on the verge of breaking, and on top of that, Jessica's fists had been imbued with an unimaginable magic attack power by now, and their destructive strength defied the imagination. In the worst case, the destructive power might even pierce the defensive wall, smash Renove as well, and create an expansion connecting this room to the next. However, the damage would rebound on Jessica as well. She wouldn't escape unharmed. I will say it just one more time. Stop. I say this out of consideration for you. Shut the fuck up. Prepare yourself. Jessica howled, putting all the strength of her greatest and final destructive power into her fist. She roared. The three goats had been beaten down long ago without straining to breathe in the slightest. George cautiously closed the distance between him and Gape. He was after her. He was planning on bringing her down with a single strike. Gape was also aiming for a single strike. If she let that chance slide, she would be killed this time. Aren't you going to use your pitfalls? Ack. Even the tiny opening during the time it took to open the hole would prove fatal with George as an opponent right now. Gabe cautiously calculated the distance and timing, but even as she did, George closed the gap between them. If you won't come, I will. Go ahead. There's no point in cheap tricks anymore. I'll settle it with this kick of mine. For an instant she thought George's body blurred, and then only his jacket was floating in the air. The moment she thought, darkness covered Gabe. George, with his heels swung up high, was attacking from the sky like a massive dragon. It worked. This is my victory. Ushiromia, George. What? Gabe opened a vast pitfall with her in the center, swallowing up George along with herself. The two were swallowed up by the pitfall and spat out from the ceiling of the arbor. But that was what Gabe had been after, so she alone landed lightly. However, there was another pitfall on George's landing spot. Gotcha. Ushiromia, George. It was fun, so die. The Ushiromia family headship would be wasted on the likes of you, so I'll finish you right here, right now. George once again fell from the ceiling of the arbor. He had probably been dropped the same distance as falling off the roof of a two-story building. In the sky, he couldn't control his posture in any way. It was impossible to resist or defend or avoid. As Gape spun like a whirlwind, she concentrated all of her energy on the sharp tip of her stiletto's heel. This was the final strength to perform his requiem. the final strike of the queen bee that would bore into heaven, knocking him down into true abyss. Welcome to the abyss. This is the end of the line for you. She closed in on her prey and stuck her foot up into the sky. At that time she saw George's face. Even though he was in midair, he was calmly adjusting his glasses with the middle finger of his right hand, and his posture was still preserved as that of an axe kick. Without the faintest deviation, he aimed for Gabe's forehead. I had already hypothesized that this move would come up. What? If I'd jumped to make the person on the ground taste my heel, my posture would have collapsed long ago. However, my posture hasn't collapsed in the slightest. Do you know why? You don't mean... From the very beginning, I aimed to make a person 2 stories below taste my heel. Ooh-ah. It's your loss, miss. Ding dong! Also, what was the bing bong thing that Virgilia kept hearing? Whoa, take this. The final strongest punch that Jessica had raised reached the wall and was sucked in. It was sucked into a black, large hole that had suddenly opened on the wall. Well, I did tell you to stop. Did you make them hit each other? That's so fucked up. George and Jessica hit each other. This is... Gua. Actually... Well, you are a jerk. I wasn't even close to being in a pinch. Sorry. Jessica's fist had gone for George's stomach, and George's axe kick had lined up with Jessica's head. The shocking destructive power imbued in Jessica's fists crushed George's organs and scattered his abdomen. The same destructive power in George's axe kick smashed half of Jessica's head and scattered its contents in the same manner. Piff. Ahahaha. Didn't I tell you about a witch's acting prowess? Hey, Beato, what do you think? Were you watching? Wahaha. Giggle. Not bad, just as planned. You really do get it, Gabe. Woohoo. Beato and Gabe casually high-fived each other. Wow. Thanks, Renove. Thanks for the gift. I'll return Jessica's corpse. Separate the corpses of the 2 who are close. Does this mean the second twilight is over? Gabe dropped Jessica's corpse through a pitfall, and all the chunks were thrown into Jessica's room, as carelessly as throwing something into the trash. Jessica's corpse and lumps of flesh fell from the ceiling and poured out all over her room. Renove shook his head slightly at this gruesome change of scenery. My apologies, Jessica-sama. I did warn you. However, the true art of us demons, that is, foreseeing the conclusion and giving you advice I knew you wouldn't listen to, really isn't something a human could understand. Okay, John Kramer. It really was fun, kid. But you play with words a bit too much. Is maybe it's about time I started fighting back really the best you've got? Heh. Are you trying to be someone from a light novel or something? Yeah, life is not like a movie. Most fights realistically only last, like, most people's fights generally tend to not last very long. Granted, I've been in fights that last like half an hour to 40 minutes, but that was like 5 people beating the fucking shit out of me. So that sucked. So, In the arbor, brutally decorated by George's and Jessica's scattered blood and guts, Gabe enjoyed a loud laugh for a while. But she quickly realized that, in all seriousness, this was a little too filthy and undignified, and she snapped her fingers. As she did, a cloud of gold butterflies rose up around her, stuck to each of the bits of bloodstains, and dropped them. Then George's corpse returned bit by bit, and the brutal corpse with its guts torn out was repaired into a clean corpse that looked like it was sleeping. Was this some act of sportsmanship toward a dead rival? The heavens were split, because Gabe had lifted her leg high, pointed at the sky. See you, lover boy. This is game over for real. Splat. Without a trace of mercy, that foot stepped down and was buried into George's forehead. The stiletto heel was as sharp as a weapon pierced George's forehead. With a bloop, it was pulled out. It was like a mark proving that Gabe certainly had finished him by her own hand. Renove also returned Jessica's corpse to its original form, and unlike how it had been with George, he restored Jessica's life. Ooh, cough, cough. What in the world? Is this a dream? No, that is wrong. You certainly did pass away, Jessica-sama. You should be well aware of the memory of your final moments. Jessica's mind was burning. For some reason, she remembered being thrown somewhere and having George's heels smash her head. Am I alive? No, you are dead. With my magic, that will only be postponed for a scant 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the magic will end and you will return to being a tragic corpse with half its head crushed. What do you say? Death is brutal. In most cases, you aren't even given the time to ready your heart. But to praise you for fighting so bravely, I've decided to give you this time. Perhaps you should sort out your regrets from this world in those 3 minutes. I can also decide to take you along with me during those 3 minutes, but the power that had burned through Jessica's body until a second ago had been completely lost. Jessica was aware of that herself. She was already dead. And that is all for me. If you would excuse me. It was fun, Jessica-sama. Renove turned his form into a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. All that remained was the sound of the wind and rain and the figure of Jessica as she crouched down, leaning against the wall. Jessica could tell. She probably really would revert to the corpse she had been after 3 minutes. Was there anything she could do in those 3 minutes? She stood up and with a shaky gait, took the phone that was on the desk. Call Battler. Battler, George and I are dead. Bye. Hello? Is that Jessica? Jessica? What is it? Are you okay? They got me. They got me. Are you okay? Did you get injured? I'll come to save you right now. No, it's already too late. I'm already dead, or so I hear. Haha, by the time you got here, Battler, I'd be a corpse with half its head split open. Crap, that damn geezer. Wait there, I'm coming right now. Listen to me, Battler. Listen closely, okay? Now I totally see why Goto-san and Kumasawa-san were evasive about the time the 6 in the dining hall got killed. Those guys aren't human. What? What are you talking about? I saw it, so what am I supposed to do? Those guys warp and set up barriers, and do whatever they want, okay? It's like some kind of manga or an anime, hell, and we seriously can't keep up. From the very beginning, fighting was useless. They really aren't opponents that you'll be able to fight with that hat-stand spear you're so proud of. A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's forehead. George Nissan's done for too. That was an instant death. The next test is yours, Battler. I wonder if your test will go the same way as ours. Be careful, and don't misunderstand. You mean about the test? No. Don't misunderstand and assume that your enemy's human. The enemy isn't human. They're demons that can freely wield a terrifying magic. No matter what, don't get the wrong idea about that. Cough, cough, cough. Be careful. A line of blood dripped down Jessica's mouth as well. The left half of her head started hurting. Jessica realized that she was about to return to the corpse she had been. When 13 people died, the Golden Witch will revive. 6 were killed, including Mom. That's the first twilight. Then George, Nissan, and I were killed for the second twilight. So once 5 more people are killed, the ceremony will be complete and the witch will revive. I hope Dad and the rest are safe. If they aren't, the one to test you might be the resurrected Beatrice herself. Battler already didn't understand what Jessica was saying, but from her tone, he realized that she knew she was about to die. So even though he didn't understand the situation, he urged her to give it her all. I said I'm already dead. See ya. It looks like it's time. Good luck on your test. I hope you can become the head. Jessica? Jessica! Hey, answer me. Jessica? Jessica? Jessica! Snake! Battler's sorrowful voice could be heard from the dangling receiver. As she leaned against the wall in the corner, crouched down, Jessica's head had been half smashed. This place is... Is this a well? Where is this? Kyrie stuck her face out of the well, and then Kraus showed himself too. When he realized that they could see the back of the mansion from beyond a grove of trees, Kraus knew more or less where they were. To think that here, in a certain well, there had been a hidden underground passage, which led to a hidden mansion. This really is tough on this old body. I usually came up from a different spot with real stairs. If you just unlock it. I will ask you to tell me about the layout of this place in detail later, Dr. Nanjo. Shannon, are you okay? Grab hold. I'm fine. Cannon-kun, quickly. Cannon climbed up a ladder out of the shaft that was disguised as a well. It was probably quite deep. When he looked down for the first time, he realized how far he'd come up. Firing. Bang. As Cannon was about to finally crawl out of the well, a hole the size of a basketball opened up in his chest. Everyone there looked through the hole in Cannon's chest to the scenery beyond. Cannon-kun. Cannon slumped backwards and was swallowed up into the depths of the well. Everyone, run! The Cheister sisters. They've locked on. We can't avoid them. Run! Let at least one of us remain alive. At that time, Kraus and Kyrie and Nanjo certainly saw a golden curved line appear from the well, and sow itself through the side of Shannon's head. Shannon! Her head had been pierced. The 3 had witnessed it perfectly until it had shot out the opposite side, blowing it away. Shannon fell to her knees, blood gushing from both sides of her head, and flopped to the ground. Everybody do the flop. Okay. Everyone was like, that's bad taste, Lunar. Why, they're after us. Run. We'll be killed. Completely understandable reaction. Nanjo, I don't think you can run very fast, buddy. I'm sorry. But run! Run! As Nanjo doubled over in shock, stunned by how Shannon had died, the Cheister sisters did not allow him to escape. A curved line again appeared from the well and pierced Nanjo's forehead to the back of his head in an instant, sewing through him. Thump. And so Nanjo passed away. What the? Why? Where's the enemy coming from? We're being sniped! I don't know where from, but they've honed in on us perfectly. Let's escape into the mansion, block their field of vision. The The two dashed toward the back door of the mansion. Then, right as Cross was about to shut the door behind him, a golden curved line appeared from the forehead, piercing Kraus from the back of his head to his forehead and smashing that forehead. Eek! Eek! Kraus's body leaned over, fell down, and drew a neat radial pattern with the insides of his head. Kyrie ran wildly through the hallway, flew into some room, and locked the door. But even so, she wasn't even remotely convinced that this had saved her life. She would probably die soon. This was apparently one of the guest rooms. At that moment, Kyrie's eyes fell on a phone on a side table. After hanging up the call from Jessica, Battler had been about to dash out. Okay, if Battler is receiving the same test as the others, his life, Kyrie's life, for everyone else now includes Kumasawa, Goda, and Maria? And what would be Maria's test? Sakutaro? In that instant, the phone rang again. Hello? Huh? Kyrie-san? Kyrie-san? Yes, Battler-kun. I got lucky. I managed to escape the dungeon somehow. I really did have luck on my side. Where are you? Is everyone okay? Over here, it looks like Jessica and George and Nikki are... Listen, I probably won't be alive for long. At that time, right after she thought the keyhole of the locked door might have glowed gold, a gold curved line drawing a helix. No, a golden sewing thread penetrated in there at an incredible speed and bored a hole into the floor by Kyrie's feet. Oh, that's unusual. The enemy who sniped the other four, one after the other with an extraordinary skill, apparently really does have trouble shooting me between the eyes with a single shot while I'm holed up in this room. But the next strike will probably hit. At this point, Kyrie finally remembered the first massive killing in the dining hall. That's right. This is what killed Rudolph and the rest of all 6 of them. Okay, technically, we have the second Twilight. Then Shannon, Cannon, and Kraus make 3, and Nanjo 4. Though technically, do those count as part of the gouge thing? I mean, if you sacrifice them wrong, isn't that still a fail? Listen, Battler-kun. I'm going to tell you everything exactly as I saw it. I'm sure you'll think there's something wrong with my head. Yes, it's okay for you to think that. Even I still haven't sorted out what it is what I saw. Today, after your return to the guest house, the family conference began in the dining hall, and I'll tell you everything that happened next. Listen until the end without butting in. The call might be suddenly cut off partway, though. If it does, at that time, I'll be dead. Kyrie-san. Then Kyrie spoke. About Kenzo appearing and the family conference starting, and about the 6 being killed, and the 5 of them being confined, about how she had escaped somehow, and ran away to where she was now, and how about everyone had finally been killed. It was all spoken dispassionately with no dramatization, just as she had seen it. She even spoke about how everyone except her had been killed, and how she had observed the moments of all their deaths, and how even now someone was trying to kill her. Actually, even while we've been talking, I've been attacked 3 times. Something like a strange gold thread keeps flying in through the keyhole, spinning around and aiming for me. First it was by my feet, next it was close to my shoulders. Just now it grazed my ear. Its aim is getting more and more accurate. Looks like it'll go right between my eyes pretty soon. But run, Kyrie-san. Run away. Where to? I've run this far, shut myself in a room, and even locked the door, right? Now that I'm still being pursued, just where should I hide? Hey. Kairi-san? Hey, Battler-kun? Are Jessica-chan and George-kun still alive? Not long ago, I just got a phone call from Jessica. It kind of sounded like they were done for. Thought so. Yeah, when we were being killed one after another, I had kind of a premonition. I thought this perhaps the second twilight had been finished, and the ceremony of killing 13 people before our twilights had been reached. In short, when I die, that's 13 people. And here's the thing, this is like all of it's happening in the first. I thought we had to wait for the second day. So we still have like 30 plus hours. This way, the ceremony is complete. The Golden Witch Beatrice will resurrect. I wonder what in the world will happen on this island filled with demons and witches and swarming with goat monsters. I wonder just what will happen when even the leader of them all, the Golden Witch, appears. By now, I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. Kairi-san's voice had completely given up on her own life. Because Battler understood that, he couldn't stop the tears. There's just one thing I can advise you on. What? If a demon or a witch does appear in front of you, yeah, there's no need whatsoever to doubt whether it's real or not. Understand that it is what it seems to be. You might think there must be some trick or that there's some true nature hidden behind it. If you have the time to think of something like that, it'd be much more constructive to plan out how not to damage the mood of whatever you're facing. Even mistakenly, you must not say, in that case, try showing me magic, because to prove that, they'll probably use an even crueler way than before to show you. I can't believe it. Even if I hear something like that coming from your mouth, I can't believe it. I understand. I understand why you can't believe it. So that's why I can give you this advice. Believe. You're telling me to believe in Beatrice and demons and witches and monsters. Even after being shown things not of this world so clearly, I think we still weren't able to believe any of it. I'm still like that now. The true form of this thing that keeps attacking me, trying to shoot through my forehead, is something I don't understand, and I can't believe it. So I want you alone to believe, to understand, to accept the existence of what we couldn't accept. If you do that for me, our deaths won't be wasted. It'll also have been worth it for me to make this phone call. Kairi-san. I'm still okay. It's scratched me, but it's missed again. It looks like I probably won't get another chance. Thank you. And goodbye, Battler-kun. I treated you coldly sometimes because you were a Sumu-san's son. Forgive me for those days. What do you mean, forgive you? Right now, you are a mother to me, Kairi-san. I felt as though I had heard an incredible sound at the other end of the receiver, then a noisy clacking sound, as though the receiver had fallen to the floor. Kairi-san? Kairi-san! Ah! Angry face. Kairi-san did not answer through the phone again. So, one, all 13 people are dead that needed to be dead. Kenzo's alive. Battler, Maria, Goda, and Kumasawa are left. I don't know why you're mad, Battler. Huh, none of the actual portraits have been updated.